Hello everyone, my name is Hunter555, you can call me Hunter. I hope we're all having a wonderful Monday. Full disclosure, I am not feeling 100%. That's why I'm sat in this chair. I'm not feeling 100%, so stream, I may decide to end it early. It really just depends how I end up feeling. With talking a lot, but I knew that if I didn't stream I would feel even worse, so here we are. No one tell me off. The streams are really good for my mental health, so that's why I'm live. Turing, hello, goodbye. Bit of a flyby. Thank you for well wishes for the stream. Have a good sleep. And hello, Cosmic, not college. Not entirely sure where I got college from. Hello, Cosmic, Scotsman, and I believe I saw Addy, True Purple, Mythical, and Exipol come in. I have kind of tried to commit the names to memory, so if I haven't said hello and you've said hello in chat, please correct me now. And Scotsman, you absolutely deserve that shout out. You're a streamer in this channel. Well, in this chat at least. You get a shout out. That's how this channel works. If you are a streamer and you're a friend, you get a shout out. Speaking of, could I get a shout out for Turing as well, please, Cosmic? I don't know if they're still here, but they are also a streamer, occasionally from Infinity Cove, which is where we are. I will get to that in a second. And if someone could ban Cosmic in chat, that would be wonderful. That never gets old. Yes, this is Infinity Cove, the Patreon server of one very wonderful Joel Duggan. If you don't know who Joel Duggan is, have you been living under a rock? I'm kidding. Joel is the co-host of the Spawn Chunks Minecraft podcast and I believe the founder and primary host of the Citadel Cafe podcast. And the owner of this server and a streamer. And you can tell that I'm not feeling well because I'm even more scatterbrained than normal. Anyway. Today, in case you couldn't tell from our location, we are continuing our work on detailing. One moment. Please stand by. We're working on detailing this tunnel! Got there eventually. That train is longer than I thought it was. Yes, we're going to actually detail the tunnel today, rather than, plaster it with stone, which is what we did last week. Decorating the tunnel part 2. Tunnel Boogaloo. And yes, I did just recite the stream title, word for word. Sue me. Cosmic, what do you think? I personally think that this tunnel has undergone a major improvement with all this. But I just wondered if you agreed. All this scaffolding. Yeah, so I am feeling a little under the weather, as I said. Stream might end a little early. And also, I might find that I'm a bit less talkative. If I go quiet for an extended period of time, someone poke me, and I'll rouse again. It is just because my body's decided that we're due a cold, which shouldn't be. It shouldn't really knock me out as bad as they do, but I have this weird thing where I don't get ill particularly often. I feel rough, but generally that roughness is due to mental health, not physical health. In terms of my physical health, I tend to stay fairly okay. But it means that whenever I do get ill, even for the most minor things, it really knocks me out. Which is really frustrating, because I can't do tasks that should really be fairly easy and basic. And I know, people are going to say it affects everyone differently, you're entitled to feel rough every now and again, but I'm still allowed to find it frustrating. And yes, I'm aware there are always people who have it worse off. That also doesn't mean I am not entitled to feel rough. That's mostly for anyone who's lurking who might feel the need to comment, because I know that my community are wonderful people who would never say that. Well, they would say it as a joke. I'm not the only one who heard that pig, right? What are you doing there? What are you doing there, bud? I forgot these. Oh, these guys are stuck. They can't get out. There's like no way. I'm gonna have to prettify this ravine. This is gonna bug me. Yeah, that pig can't get out, and neither can that horse. Oh well. A problem for another time. Feeling evil. That's one way of describing it that I never considered. Yeah, I know. Fun fact, the guy who sits in the office next to me, he's not feeling well either. We seem to have got ill at the same time. The difference is, when I'm feeling as ill as he sounded and looked, I don't push myself to go into work. I am, if I'm in the position where I have the ability to work from home, I am not going to force myself into the office if I am feeling rough. He did. He forced himself into the office, stuck around for 30 minutes, and then went home again. Except he's got an hour commute, both in one direction is an hour. Which is not fun for anyone. It's why he's leaving. At least that's the reason he's shared. I don't know if there's another reason. But yeah, so and he sits next to me, and I did feel a little frustrated at the fact that the guy who sits next to me had decided when he was ill that he should still come in. Because I don't particularly want to sit next to someone who's not feeling well, funnily enough. Strange as though that may sound. Yeah, well, I think for me also, I've only ever had, this is only my second job, but my first job was in catering. It was working with food. Like, in that job, if you were unwell, if you had anything that made you contagious, you did not come into work. End of discussion. Like, that's not up for debate. I know there are chefs who talk about how they'll work no matter how they're feeling, but no, those chefs are shit chefs. I apologise for the strong language there. But yeah, you don't work when you're not well, because, well, you'll make the customers unwell, and that's bad. So I have that mentality still of
language.
Thank you. And no Davros today, which was good. Yeah, I have that mentality, which is not a bad mentality to have at all. But for some reason, it seems to be a mentality that most people don't seem to have. That should be there. I haven't been able to quite figure out why it's not more of a common mentality to have. But it does seem to be a case of that people feel the need that they need to be in the office. Like, not these days, not anymore. And even before COVID, if you were ill, you were ill. Though, I'm entitled to 3 sick days. I'm of the belief that you can't restrict it like that. Because, funnily enough, people generally don't enjoy getting ill. So, they don't generally choose to get ill. So, restricting how many times someone can be off sick is just very... It's a very crappy thing to do. That's okay to say. It's a very crappy thing to do, and I don't approve of it, and it's something I disagree with. And I will admit, when I got my contract and saw that, it was a bit of a sticking point. It wasn't. I could accept the amount of annual leave I got. I understood that that's a fairly I understood the amount of annual leave I got was fairly standard, and I was going in as an apprentice, so I wasn't exactly expecting the high flyers treatment. So I looked at that and thought, in fairness, I didn't used to take much of my annual leave anyway, so that was our actual thought process. In fairness, I never really took all my annual leave anyway, which I know is bad. My mum always told me off for that. But with annual leave, it wasn't really much of an issue. But with sick leave, yeah, if you're not in the office, you're not working for us mentality. Yeah, no, I know, it's really bad mentality to have. But hey, I'm not an employer, so what the fuck do I know? Hold on.
Language.
Yeah, I've just turned on the adult content tag, the adult content timer, and the swearing, and I put the swearing tag on, because if we're going to continue talking about this stuff, then I'm going to swear, because it's in my nature to swear about this kind of thing. When I don't know if I mentioned this, I had a meeting with the apprenticeship people, the people who actually run the apprenticeship side of my course, and in fact I had two. I had a meeting with one on Zoom, and then a phone call during my lunch break with the other, and I opened both by saying, if I sound aggressive, or if I start swearing, or get upset or anything like that, I apologise. It's not directed at you, but it's the only way I can express how this situation is making me feel. Perfect timing for that timer to come through. But yeah, so office life has been an adjustment. It would probably have been less of an adjustment if I got along with my colleagues, I will admit. But it's been an adjustment. Oh, by the way, if anyone's got a good excuse to not going to a wedding reception, I would appreciate it. My supervisor's getting married in May, and he's invited us all to his wedding reception, and I'm trying to find a way out of it. Not because he's the decent one, and he's been the most supportive of me learning and things. And I feel a little bit bad, only a little bit, but a little bit bad for not wanting to go. But at the same time, the only people I'm going to know that are my colleagues. I mean, big parties aren't really my thing anyway, surprising no one. Yeah, Cosmic, we both know that that's not going to work. We both know that's not going to work. Not even because my colleagues wouldn't accept it, but because I wouldn't be able to say it. Like, just the kind of person I am means that I would not be able to say that. If I had another wedding, I wouldn't be able to work. The reception's it's on a Friday, so he's off for the day, and then he's invited us to the reception after we finish work. Which, yeah, I mean, already that prospect was quite unpleasant, because I don't particularly like doing stuff like that after work, especially at the end of the week. It's a bit taxing, just on my energy levels. Speaking of weddings, though, I do actually need to book a couple of other periods off, because I've got 2 weddings this year. One is my best friend. In fact, now that I think about it, I should have told you guys that. I mean, I don't know how much you guys care, but so my best friend is getting married in June, and the reason I'm telling you guys is because well, I mean, I told you guys when she got engaged, because she rang me whilst I was live, to inform me. Which, in fairness, I had told her to call me as soon as it happened because we had a sneaking suspicion it was coming. And I told her to call me as soon as it happened, no matter what she thought I was doing, and I would pick up the phone. And I did. I put stream on hold, so just so I could congratulate them. And I am the person of honor. Doesn't sound right, but I'm not the maid of honor. I'm the closest thing to the maid of honor that a non-binary person can be when they're a disorganized mess. But yeah, so I mean, this is the sort of because it's my best friend's wedding. They could not approve my time off at work for all I care. I'm going. I'm not missing this thing. I will walk out of that office there and then, if need be. I am going to that wedding. Sorry, just wished to emphasize how... I know it's not my wedding, but this is important to me. When I first expressed doubt about being able to go, because when I got the invite, I expressed doubt about being able to go because I knew that there was another wedding. I knew the exact date of my friend's wedding, but I wasn't going to tell them that it was in June, not May. And my colleague said, "Well, you're not going to be able to get the day off because I've got the day off." I said, "Yeah, do you really think that matters to her?" And he's like, "Well, who do you think it's a better idea to annoy? The person who can make your life hell at work, or the person who can make your life hell out of work?" And I just looked him dead in the eye and said, "If you think anything you could do would match how she could damage my life if she wanted to, you know nothing." I know she would never do that, but it gave me an insane amount of pleasure to just turn around to them and say, "Your event to me, to him, the event is important. It's his wedding. I don't blame him for viewing it as important, but it still gave me a great amount of pleasure to turn around to him and say, your event is not important to me." It's not the first time that I've turned around and said, "I don't care. I am taking the time off." They threatened to cancel an evening I had, but an early finish I had in December because the other guy who takes the late finish, the one who's ill, had booked that day off. People hadn't realised that he'd double booked, and they were saying, "Oh, we'll just have to cancel Hunter's leave," though they didn't call me Hunter. And I just said, "No, because you've approved it." Well, it's not annual leave. You've used all your annual leave. "Yeah, I don't care. You've approved it. I'm taking it off. How you handle it is up to you." They seem to find it very amusing. Because they seem to be labouring under the delusion that I like them. Right. I think that is sufficient for the top half. So what we'll do is we'll go and dump all these blocks in the shulkers. Get rid of that. Oh, that's a player head. Oh, is that a player head because it's been placed? Hold on. Bits. Do you think I've got enough stone? Mate of Horror. I have seen the correction, but I do like Mate of Horror. Right. Teleport. Oh, slime. Yummy. Yeah, I said I had 2 weddings. The second wedding is in September. It's on a Friday? Yeah, it's on a Friday. I had to think about that for a second. Much as this wedding is important to me, it's not my best friend of 10 years wedding. So not got quite the same emotional significance behind it. And I'm not involved in any of the organisation for it. So it's not got quite the same significance. But that's another day I'm going to need to have off. No, that's a Wandering Trader's head. Oh, this is a fake. This is a fake. This is a fake head. We can't have this. No, absolutely not. We're not having a counterfeit head. Away with you. Oh, absolutely mythical. Mate of horror, 100%. Although I suppose you could be made of horror. I'll leave it up to you how you spell the word made. What? What doesn't sound at all wrong? Counterfeit head. Need to sleep. "100% intentional." Yeah, perhaps don't finish that sentence, Cosmic. Oh, that's a skeleton. Kill the skeleton, Addy! Kill it! No, Addy! Kill the skeleton! Addy, what are you doing? Oh, fine. You want a you want a job doing? You want a job doing? Do it yourself. Missed. That is indeed what I said. That one. Right. Now I need to figure out what to texture with. Let's see. Tough. I think I've got enough gravel. Ooh. I see. Okay. Low on supplies. There were always a dog. Addy doesn't have a Java Minecraft account. So, there's no skin for the mod pack, the texture pack to mod pack texture pack, one of the two. There's no skin for it to draw from. When Addy gets a Java Minecraft account, I will change the name to whatever the username is, unless it stays as Addy. But I can't guarantee it will. Right. Well, didn't mean to do that. Okay. And then just quickly over here. Okay. And then back round. It's one of the downsides of having the storage platform over here away from the utilities platform. We've got loads of stone brick walls in here. Ooh, cracked stone brick. I didn't realise I had that. Loads of stone brick slabs. We'll take some cobblestone wall. Grab those. We'll grab those andesite slabs. I don't really need to grab more andesite. Just finish off that stack. And then turn that into a stack of polished. Okay, that should be sufficient. Thank you, Cosmic. Yeah, I can't laugh too much. It hurts my throat a little. Right. This way. Why did I have to think about that? How's that for a landing? Ah. Sorry. My body decided that was the moment to clear my lungs of cold. I needed to cough, and I didn't want to cough into the mic. Right, let's see. Out my hotbar. Andesite, stone bricks, polished andesite, cobblestone, tough, cracked stone bricks, cobblestone wall, stone brick wall, cobblestone slab. No. Polished andesite slab. Where the walls are, I'm gonna have to dig out behind them. So they don't attach to the block behind, but that's not an issue. And for anyone wondering how I'm doing this, my mouse, I can click the scroll wheel to the side slightly, and it scrolls to the hotbar. Bit like just scrolling does, but it means I can hold down, or hold one way, and it'll just scroll. It'll just scroll through, which is actually really helpful, and I'm really glad I discovered it, because it's really good for block randomizing. The walls will come out the ceiling. They're just going in as part of the randomization. There we go. Ah, they can stay there for now. That's a wall. Sugarcane pillar, sugarcane brick wall. Sorry, I thought we were just randomly making remixes with Minecraft blocks. Yeah, except sugarcane isn't a block. You can't stand on it. It's not a block. I wonder how many Minecraft covers there are of songs that are just various blocks being placed. There must be quite a few, surely. What just took you back, Mythical? Hello, Pax. How are you feeling? I'm feeling rough. How's the third floor been? Did you hear about? Do you know where it landed? And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, there was a very amusing moment during Elcorn's stream yesterday where Pax declared that a wheelie bin had just blown past their window because we were having a very bad storm in the UK yesterday, and Pax Pax and Cosmic's part of the country, they were both being hit quite badly by it. And Pax declared that a wheelie bin, had just been blown past their window whilst they were on the third floor. Which I found very amusing. It was like the idea of a wheelie bin blown by. Fair enough, in a storm that makes sense. It's gonna happen. But a wheelie bin blowing by the third floor. I started watching Hermitcraft in season 7. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a fake fan. I wasn't there since the beginning. Oh, I saw something recently that it was like all the Hermit's ages. It was like talking about how old all the Hermits were, and it put XB Crafted in I can't remember what month it was, but it said XB Crafted was born in 2000. Had I just stopped for a second and just reread that, just like, there's no way that XB Crafted is younger than me. And I was right. He's not. For some reason, I don't know why, but if you go to famousbirthdays.com and look up XB Crafted, there's a birthday listed. But he's listed as being born in 2000. I'm not quite sure why. He doesn't even... He sounded nothing like he would have been... Like, I went back and watched his early Hermitcraft stuff just out of curiosity. I was just curious to see how he sounded. Sounds exactly the same. I don't know how old he is, but he's not in his 20s. There's a small flock of wheelie bins which landed around the top of the road in a driveway. They're mostly intact. Famous Birthdays emails you to ask for your info, and if you don't answer, they make it up. Ah! How do you know that? Are you on Famous... Is Pax on Famous Birthdays? Please say yes. Enjoy the driving, like Screwy. Stay safe. Mumbo, ah. Makes sense. I mean, I don't think they should make it up. It's not... It does spread some misinformation, and frankly, if they're not if people aren't giving them the data, there's probably a reason. They don't want people knowing when their birthdays are and things. Minipax is Mumbo? Yeah, I know. Considering I've met Mumbo and he's nothing like Minipax, I was just shocked as you are. Though I grant you, I have never seen Mumbo and Pax in the same room together, so it could have been a disguise. A very tall disguise, because I'm fairly certain Pax is not as tall as Mumbo. They might have been using stilts, I suppose. That is always a possibility. There we go. My dog is darker. Oh, I love how that the bit you go with. That's the justification for not being Mumbo you go with. Nothing to do with yourself, but everything to do with the dog. Most of my colleagues after 20 plus years still don't know how old I am or an exact date of my birthday, though they do know my death day celebration. I had to pause for a second, then remembered who I was talking to. It's a slightly different situation for you. I's not as tall as Mumbo. Don't know how tall I am now, but I'm just short of 6 foot. Yeah, Mumbo's quite a bit taller than that. Considering I'm just shy of 6 foot, and he towered over me. Granted, I wasn't quite as tall at that point, because I was 14? Maybe 15? What year was Minecon London? Scotsman, you'll know, you went. What year was Minecon London? No, positive 6 foot, Cosmic, not negative 6 foot. 2015. Okay, I would have been. Yeah, okay, I wouldn't have been my current height. I was a few inches off yet. I think. Don't actually remember when I stopped growing. Had to look at the coin. Yeah, I don't really have the coin within reach. I'm not actually sure where it is off the top of my head. It's somewhere in my room. Like most of my possessions. They're somewhere. Probably in a box at the moment. I keep stopping to grab my pickaxe that's in my inventory, not my hotbar. That. Getting a little wall placement just then. Okay. You know, I'm going to confess something. When I started to make online friends, particularly friends in the UK, I thought, awesome. I'll be able to. I've got some new friends. I'll be able to meet up with them, be able to hang out with them and see them. What I didn't anticipate was none of them being able to drive, or at the very least, none of them being able to travel the long distance it would be to see me in one way or another. I think some of them can drive. They just either choose not to, don't have a car, or it's a too long distance, or for whatever other reason they don't drive. And yes, you know who I'm talking about. But I swear, all my long distance friends, all of them, I love you to bits. And it's not just you, it's not just the guys who are lurking here. It's not just the guys present in chat. It's all my friends who live a distance away. They're all the same. None of them travel for one reason or another, or drive. And frankly, it's just selfish. I do love you guys though. I do love you, but I do wish I could see you. Yeah, I do wish I could actually see you guys. It would be nice. Stone brick. Stone. Polished andesite. As soon as I get myself out of this physical health I'm in, I'm on my way. I'll run. Okay. Walk fast. Again, okay. I have no complaint with that. There is a better than average chance I've had a drink with a Zoomer and never knew it. I mean, I think unless you actually engaged him in conversation, most people wouldn't realise that it was X they were talking to. Just by his very nature. Because let's face it, he's not exactly public about what he looks like, is he? So, for all you know, you have met X. Well, that works. There. Yeah, even the voice. Yeah, that's just because you're Australian, Mythical, which is sounds like a you problem. At least I have the courtesy to be in a country that other people are in. I'm sorry, that was mean. I apologise. Only a bit, but I apologise. Really? Why have all the walls ended up, Let's organise HunterCon. Well, I'm constantly hoping for, like, a Spawn Chunks meetup. Not even to meet Johnny and Joel, though that would be nice, but because I know a load of you guys would be there and I would get to meet you guys, and that's the important thing. Like, because let's face it, if there was, like, a Spawn Chunks meetup, Johnny and Joel are the focus of the day. Everyone's going to want to see them. And then you've got people like us who are just sat off to one side like, yeah? Half of us have a hotline to them. Might be an exaggeration of the parasocial relationship, but you get my meaning. Like, if Ginger felt like travelling to Brighton, she could probably just message Pix and say, hey, I'm in Brighton, meet me. And he would meet her. Not even, shall we meet up? Just meet me. Though I know Ginger would never phrase it like that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, we'll host it in your area pack specifically so you can come. I nearly said where your area was and then thought better of it. Yeah, have it at Minipax's house. I don't see them finding that incredibly hideous at all. Hey CJ, we're just planning HunterCon. Would you like to come? It is in the UK. Because I don't have a valid passport. There we go, got there in the end. So they're going to be food. I'm not actually the one planning this. Will there be food, organisers? Pax, will there be food at your house? Well, I don't know that. I haven't actually read your bio. Why would I read your bio? Why would I want to know about you? Don't be ridiculous, Pax. I already know all the important stuff. How about your giant sordid past as Oh yeah, we're not supposed to talk about that. And let's not forget the time you... Oh, wait, no, not supposed to mention that either. Sorry, I am really sharing stuff today. CJ asked about food. CJ can do food. Can we have the cool jacket potato guy from TikTok? Yes, Addy, we're doing a HunterCon. It is up at Pax's place. And because I'm the guest of honour, I'm expecting you to show for me. Oh crap, I should not have said that. Then I'll actually have to get in the car with Addy. Driving, to clarify. Being in the car with Addy in itself is not a bad thing. Addy's good driving company because he knows when to fill the silence and he knows when to stop talking so I can focus. He's an excellent passenger, princess. Love you, Addy. Addy can carry me on his back. Careful, Cosmic. He'll start thinking that he's strong again. And we all know what happened the last time he thought he was strong. Actually, I don't think anyone knows what happened last time he thought he was strong, including me. I just made that up on the spot. If I still lived in the share house I lived in from my 20th to Ranger Con, I used to set up a full bar with draft beer for our parties there. No, Addy. If I'm the guest of honour, I am not carrying anyone. I'll be tired. I didn't realise quite how many walls ended up in the ceiling. And it's not every day that someone hears that. Sorry, Dan, are you saying that Addy should get a trolley and push me? Or I should push Addy in the trolley? Let's agree to get good. All walls end up in the ceiling. It would be silly if they ended before they reached the ceiling. Yeah, tell that to the people who make public toilets. The reason I don't like using them. And that is one of them. There are multiple reasons, actually. That's just one of them. I'm not going to go into the rest. Partitions. Your doctors would frown, but you could carry them. Well, Addy is very small. Addy's very small. Not as small as Cosmic, but it was a close run thing as to who was smaller. Can't believe I got a 2-in-1. But then again, they're still both taller than Elkhorn, but Elkhorn's just been shrinking with how old he's got. Got it in. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get an age joke, but I got one in. Got the instructions wrong. Don't worry. At least you only got the instructions wrong. I got delivered the wrong body. And I'm trying to make do, but the number of people who tell me that I should be happy with the body I have and there's no mistakes in the shipping and handling. And I think the primary processor was damaged because it keeps sending me error messages when there isn't actually anything wrong. Really quite infuriating. And I haven't been able to find anyone to really help like investigate what the proper solution might be. I have a confession, CJ. The bulk of in fairness, it did actually make this job a hell of a lot easier. But part of the reason I use it is because I know it upsets Cosmic. Like, I know it upsets Cosmic, and but not to such an extent that I'm actually upsetting them. Human body is badly designed, screwed up, has a missing manual, and some of the parts are designed so badly they will occasionally try to kill you. You're telling me that people think this is right? Yes. They're called bigots. One of them is Prime Minister. And yes, I did just get political. Yes, I'm a streamer. I'm also a voter. So anyone who has a problem with me expressing my opinion, I'm a voter. I am perfectly permitted to have an opinion on the current political climate. I don't know if I told you this, but during one of the recent arguments I had with a couple of my colleagues, well, my boss and one of my colleagues, and my colleague said, "Don't worry, Hunter." Oh, obviously, they're not calling me Hunter. Everyone gets more right wing as they get older, and I was just like, evidently my parents didn't get the memo, or my grandparents, or all my online friends. Well, your online friends are all older than me. I love it when I get to tell them to eat their words. Like, they didn't actually have an argument, they just kept reiterating it. I was just like, you can't keep saying the same thing. It doesn't work that way. They're good northern stock. I mean, that's the claim you want to make. I'm not saying my grandparents are perfect, because they're really not. And they certainly say some things that make me and my sister kind of raise our eyebrows. But at the same time, they try. They try and understand mine and Addie's relationship. They they try and be understanding and accepting of other things. In fact, the thing they seem to have the most trouble with, and I am calling them out slightly here, is race. That is the thing they seem to have the most trouble with. Leave it up to you to determine how bad that is for people of their generation. Though I have heard far worse from far younger, frankly. So yeah, they could be a lot worse than they are. Oh, was it? I don't know when you actually sent it through. I just know when I heard it. Thank you for the heads up, Cosmic. I'm gonna make sure I at least get all the scaffolding down, if nothing else. It doesn't look quite right because the lower half hasn't been done yet. Yes, CJ, yes, you can. But I should warn you, being a mod does not protect you from supporting our current ruling politicians. Translation. If you endorse the Conservatives in any way, I will remove you from this channel. No, that's not entirely true. There is. I will hold my hands up and say, the Conservatives have done one good thing. Provided me someone to hate. From what I know of your children, Cosmic, they will start to ignore them. My little sister has a friend in her 20s who doesn't believe in dinosaurs. Yeah, I struggle with the conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories about, like, who killed Kennedy, okay, it's a bit odd, because why does it matter at the end of the day? But, okay, fair enough. But the conspiracy theories about the moon, or, sorry, the lizard people running the world, just because, like, if you look at it for even a fraction of a second, it doesn't, the conspiracy theory doesn't work. But that doesn't seem to stop people. I want to endorse their tickets that will get them shipped out for yeeting into the sun. No, we're not yeeting them into the sun. You want to know why we're not yeeting them into the sun? Because even I acknowledge that a political system needs a decent opposition. You only have one political party, and then you've got a problem. Or political parties on one side of things. You do have a problem. I just think the current stock need to be thrown off a cliff. I said what I said. I don't know. I will point out that our left wing is your right wing. I know that's a very much an oversimplification, but the point still stands. Yeah, no, I know. They are Tory-like, but I'll take what I can get at the moment. Addy, that's a very bold statement to make as the partner of someone who does not endorse that view at all. I am very heavily critical of people who don't vote. Very, very heavily critical. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory, just really, her beliefs are very culty. I'm sorry, I'm missing messages because I seem to have found a topic that has got everyone very riled up. Oh, I never said that I was voting for the two major parties. I'm still going to vote. The thing is, where I am, I know it's a Tory safe seat. It has been Tory since the mid-90s. So I know that no matter who I vote for, it's not going to make a difference. But saying that, I'm still going to cast a vote. Because it's partly to... It's not such a big thing for PAX. But for Addy, the reason I do it is more relevant for Addy. Because my demographic has very much got this stereotype of not voting. Not caring. I still get... Like, I've shown up. Every time there's been a vote since I was able to vote, I have shown up. Every single one. I've made sure that I understood what I was voting for, and I showed up and I voted. I may have had to hold my nose a couple of times, but I voted. What the hell? Yeah, and it always gets like surprised looks. Though I will also point out that no matter what, well, there's always like these the guys out there with the rosettes who are like, I don't know what they're there for. If they're there to canvass after the fact, like find out who you voted for, if they're there to try and convince you to vote for them, and they have never once approached me. Almost as though they know it's not worth their time. But yeah, I always get surprised looks when I walk in, because I assume because of my age. Because I am on the younger side. Why would I be voting? I'm supposed to be apathetic towards my country. Or apathetic, sorry. Apathetic? Apathetic? Hmm. Right, where's that sheep? Where is that sheep? Ah. There. Yeah. Yeah, government have been steadily getting worse. The problem is, the right wing go further right, and then say, right, meet me in the middle. So the left wing move a bit closer to the centre, and then the right wing move further to the right and say, right, meet me in the middle. Oh, agreed. Absolutely agreed. I can hear my dog barking. I'm assuming it's because my parents are home. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just had the door open. Yes, I know I've gone over. I'm just finishing off what I'm doing, and then I'm going to wrap things up. I'm not going to go for the full 2 hours. Not feeling great. I've been able to stream. That's the main thing. Come on. Not entirely sure what you were doing in there, but we're getting you. You just wonder why I had Democrats in the US very succinctly. Yeah. Yeah. That would cost me. That was I was actually going to DM you after stream. I will I am unlikely to be wanting to stream tomorrow. So I will say probably not. And I've got something going on Wednesday evening, so it would not be Wednesday. Oh! Sheep? Come on. Oh, you can't fit through the door, can you? Addy, there never will be. I'm sorry to say, but there will never be a political party that aligns with your views. At least, not one that aligns perfectly with your views. That's just the nature of politics. Politics, unfortunately, as much as we've been ranting, politics are all about compromise, unfortunately. That's by their very nature. Yeah. Yeah, Pax is right. Pax has got the right idea. Like, you pick the one that's closest to you, not the one that agrees exactly with you. Because especially for people like us at the moment, that's not going to happen. Come on. This could be an interesting one. Come on. There. Random. Contained. Can't get out of that car. Right. I'm just going to leave him there. I'll move him at some other point. Right. Thank you folks for coming. I appreciate the fact that you've shown up and stuck around, despite the fact that I'm not feeling very well, and it's probably come through. It's been fun. I am glad that I streamed. I am very glad that I streamed. My parents are going to be interesting. Apparently they did really badly. Right. I'm going to raid. I'm just going to check how long they've been going for. But I think I'll be raiding Calendar Storm if they're not wrapping up anytime soon. Only going for 90 minutes, so yeah, I'll raid Calendar Storm. Find out in Discord, that's when you get my go live notifications. 100 555 on YouTube, that's where my VODs go eventually. Make sure you're following all the streamers in chat. And yeah, hashtag Hunter Raid Howling at the Moon. I will see you folks all later on in the week, maybe. I'm hoping to stream later in the week, provided I'm not feeling too bad, because it will make me feel worse. But yeah, that's it from me tonight, so have a good rest of your day, and good night to you all.